We've seen NHS say no more puberty blockers for under 18s. We've had changes of policy, significant changes in states across America, in Scandinavia, and yet here in Australia, we won't even have a real inquiry into what's happening.
This is great news for the children of France, Rita. It's really good to see health authorities investigating and making decisions that are in the best interests of children. And as you mentioned, it's disappointing that Australia can't even have an inquiry. It's been nearly 3 weeks since the WPATH files were leaked, Rita, and other than perhaps the Australian and some parts of News Corp, there has been no mainstream coverage at all. It should have been on the front page of the ABC, of the Herald Sun, of Nine. It should have been widespread coverage on what was going on in this organisation. Activists have outlined the course of treatment for children in this country. The AusPath standards of care document come from WPATH, and we know that they are riddled with medical misinformation and they're harming children. So the sooner that we have an inquiry, the better. I just don't understand why our government, particularly at a federal level, continues to ignore this important information, particularly in light of what's happening around the world.
The senior Australian psychiatrist Andrew Amos is arguing that the treatment of transgender identities as a pathology, meaning a deviation from good health, has fallen out of fashion, with the unquestioning dogma behind transgender medical care potentially leading to a denial of evidence that could go against the Hippocratic Oath. On treating people without being allowed to assess and scrutinise their gender identity, Dr Amos said this is unethical and it is the responsibility of psychiatrists to ensure no patients are harmed by this dangerous model of care. Stephanie Bastiaan, is this warning, are these words going to just fall on deaf ears again?
Well, they seem to be, as we saw with Dr Gillian Spencer. When medical professionals with experience speak up, they are suspended, they are silenced, they are ignored. At the end of the day, state and territory governments are allowing these practices to go on. They are the ones that need to inquire whether their legislation is allowing medical practices that harm children. Our secretary, our federal secretary of health, needs to be investigating whether the drugs that he's allowed to be using off-label are harming children. The WPATH files show that there are links to cancer, that there are damages to bone marrow, that the surgeries on children can come with regret, can come with harm. All of this evidence is now here. It is time for an investigation, and the longer we go, the more children will be harmed. It's extremely disappointing.
Stephanie Bastiaan, thank you so much for your time this evening.